Si yo soy un gran pianista...
Si eres un gran pianista y te corto un brazo, ¿qué haces?
Me dedico a pintar.
Si eres un gran pintor y te corto el otro brazo, ¿qué haces?
Me dedico a bailar.
Si eres un gran bailarín y te corto las piernas, ¿qué haces?
Me dedico a cantar.
Si eres un cantante y te corto la garganta, ¿qué haces?
Como estoy muerto, pido que con mi piel se fabrique un hermoso tambor.
¿Y si quemo el tambor, qué haces?
Me convierto en una nube que tome todas las formas.
Si la nube se disuelve, ¿qué haces?
Me convierto en lluvia y hago que nazcan las hierbas.
¡Ganaste! Me sentiré muy solo el día que no estés.
Si algún día te sientes solo, busca la maravillosa ciudad de Tar.
¡Todo bien, weones! Somos en familia acá, ¿no?
Look this. Justin Bieber on one page. Review yourself. El Bielsa del rock. You know who Bielsa is?
No.
Marcelo Bielsa. He was the head coach of our soccer team.
Paracota.
Who made of a mediocre team
Wow.
respected one.
Es un complemento.
Yeah, it's a kind of a Phil Jackson.
Nice. Phil Jackson, there you go. Yeah.
So
Wow, so it's like a Zen guy.
yeah, like a same guy. Sometimes he lets the samurai out of it. You know, the art of war. He makes great his players. You know, it's that sort of soul.
It's mind game.
Yeah, El Bielsa.
But that has nothing to do with me. Oh, wow. Es el Tascam de estéreo, ¿no? I'm geeky with gear.
Yeah.
This is a really nice recorder.
To keep suspense going.
Uh-oh. Alta tensión.
That's that. You know.
That's really beautiful. Look at that.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
So well,
Incredible.
It is wood.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you like that kind of thing. It seems... Esta música. You should know a record out of it. Well, I've seen a little bit of your show on online, I think. I just do a lot of research. Yeah. I'm a very dyslexic.
spasmodic, you know.
No, but after you did after you did the Mondokane thing, I was like, oh, this guy's really intelligent. Like, what the fuck is he doing? So I tried to like learn a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So
We're going to roll it.
Gee, roll.
Mike, I know you hate interviews.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I would take that
So do
as
you.
I would take that as a compliment. 2 or 3 years in the making, this interview, more or
We
less?
have been trying to do this for a long time,
Yeah.
no? And I'm glad we're finally doing it. I feel like I owe it to you,
Yeah.
in a way.
And debt paid.
Yeah,
Must
payback.
I say. Yeah. What's like to see a stare at 1,000 of Chileans screaming their lungs out to Italian
Insane.
music?
Really, really strange. I can't tell you how strange it is. All of us, I don't know if you noticed on stage, but I would turn around and look at the band and they're just going. What is happening? Even in Italy, no one does that. It's very, nobody sings these words. Most people in the world don't know those words.
Yeah.
The fact that Chilenos took the time to, I was singing and I looked at some, there was a woman, older woman, kind of a cougar, and she was literally, I could tell she really didn't get the word, but for some reason I focused on her, and she was singing the words like kind of like a baby would sing, you know,
Yeah.
but really trying, and I thought that was amazing.
So maybe you have found your little Italy.
Hey.
Some near place here.
A
in
Santiago.
Chile. Yeah.
¡Qué locura! ¿Todo eso para el mundo perro? Okay.
So Chess Rockwell from Love Edge.
Okay.
would say maybe Italian is the language of love. It unites
That's
all
what he would
languages.
say, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, you have a wrote in Arcana, the
The book,
book
for
of
Zorn,
Jan
yeah.
Zorn. You have wrote a great line, a jaw-dropping line. I don't know if you keep supporting that phrase, but you said wrote something along, if music is dying, musicians are killing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You still
No, I still feel that, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
I feel like it's our responsibility as musicians to keep it fresh, to keep it interesting. And for the most part, musicians don't. They're very, I think, very willing to conform to whatever is cool and whatever makes money. So I think what I meant by that phrase, it sounds mean, but what I really meant was it's our responsibility to keep music alive. And by making it a business, that's not doing anybody any favors.
Yeah.
Sure, you put a little bit in your pocket, but it's not the right way to go.
Yeah, Liniers, illustrator from Argentina. I don't know if you.
Linier,
know.
yeah.
Linier. He has a great line along. All the beautiful things in the world don't need marketing.
Yeah.
I think it goes with that.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I make a living from this, so maybe I'm a fucking hypocrite. But what I'm saying is, business should never, or it should really rarely affect the art that you're creating. That's it. Simple.
The least polluted, the better.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you're never going to get, I mean, what do we really care about? Why do we care about the arts? We want a pure idea. It's about the idea. To get an idea from there or there to there, sometimes, you have to go through some channels that fuck it up.
Yeah.
So I think that the more, and this is why I have a record label. I'm cutting out
Your little
sort of those
corner in
middle,
hell.
yeah, and you can kind of go a little bit more directly, and that's also, I mean, look, the whole internet music revolution is something that I often want to puke at, but the one thing that's great about it is that some jerk, in his bedroom can make a record or a video or whatever and have it go directly to, well, there.
To the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the audience is there these days, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay.
Some Peckinpah has a idea about it.
You like
used to
Peckinpah?
have- Yeah, I like it a lot.
Me too.
They don't make him like him anymore.
You know what I just saw recently was Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia.
Yeah. Wow. What an amazing
I
title.
mean, I've seen it 10 times, but I saw it again on, I couldn't sleep. It was like 2 nights before I left on tour. I'm always like nervous.
Amazing title.
Oh,
you never really
incredible.
knew who was Alfredo Garcia in the first
No,
time.
of course. You never even see the guy.
That head with flies,
So
flying
amazing.
low,
Yeah, with the
rooting
ice.
in the back seat
Con
of
hielo.
Yeah, oh, that's
Warren Oates.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That director has a phrase that says something like, when you make a movie, or any kind of art, the process of making the movie should not hurt the output
The outcome.
itself.
Yeah.
So maybe the artist is taking care of this process about that this child goes out the least hurt possible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I guess that's sort of,
Yeah.
what I said before, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a baby.
Yeah.
Every idea that you have. I mean, if you're creating anything, I'm not like a breeder. I don't have kids. I don't. So for me, a record is kind of like a child, and you nurture it a little while. You bring it up really good, and then get the hell out of my house.
Yeah. Tom Waits said when you make a record, you take that child to your backyard and you shoot him in the head. And then you start.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I know, but metaphorically
But
speaking.
I open the door and I
Yeah.
throw him in the backyard and I say, okay, goodbye. You're not coming back.
Yeah. Mike, Nicanor Parra, who I know you have read some of his stuff.
Sí.
He's in 97. He turned out 97 in September. He's learning the languages of babies. And he's writing down every child line. He calls it the pre-grammar language, the purest language.
Sí.
I mean, language before language.
Prelingüística.
Yeah.
Sí.
So he said that maybe the best vocabulary is lying there. I think that when you put out records of Kids of the Whitney House, when you make
Whitney High, yeah.
Whitney High, when you make such a record of suspended animation, you're bubbling, through your discography. It has something, I think, of a pre-form, pre-musical canon form.
More so, this project that I do called Moonchild with Zon, that is really pre. That is more like a pre-language kind of song form. And Zorn really, the only text that I use are like arto, stuff like this. But he really wants me to kind of create, I guess, my own language in a way, which is a tall order. But it's really fun. We're doing another one as soon as I get home.
Oh, great.
Got to go to New York and do that. And then I'll be back here.
In November.
Yep.
Yeah. La vigilia empieza.
Empieza?
Yeah.
Chi scherzava con tutti i ragazzi all'infuori di me. Perché? Perché chilenos? ¿Por qué chilenos? Dígame.
Nicanor has said too that he's like a giant amoeba. He predates, he chunk off pieces from here and everywhere, from things that happen to him in the daily basis. Like hearing a shout that calls his attention, how it's modulated, to more supreme, stuff. That he calls it his creative process, his source of inspiration. What's yours like?
In a way, I have to say that I'm a little bit ignorant of my own process. I guess if I were really to really think about it, I would say that I'm inspired by sound. That's it. Any kind of sound. Could be the wind outside my window. Could be a car alarm down the street. Could be somebody getting beat up. Could be birds singing. When I hear certain sounds, like even the sound of like an escalator, like in an airport, I go, oh, interesting rhythm. So I would say that, it's very basic, it's very instinctive, and not anything, not much else.
Yeah, premeditated, not whatsoever.
No. I mean, sometimes, of course, you have an idea and you go, oh, I want to do something kind of like this, and, I want to write a country song. And you go, okay, how am I going to do that? And you get a few musicians in the room that know that kind of music, and maybe somebody makes a funny sound on a guitar, and you go, there you go. It just takes one little moment, 1 second, and then you can get an idea. it's like a, you know, the creative process. I mean, you know, it's like a fire.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as someone like
It's like
throws a spark,
Yeah.
boom. But sometimes there's no sparks at all, and you got to like, sit there with your balls in your hand and go, that didn't work.
Yeah. When David Lynch released to DVD a movie called A Straight Story,
Oh yeah.
he asked specifically the distribution, the company, that he doesn't put chapters in the movie.
Oh yeah.
He has a great
great.
line. He has a great line like "fast forward button, kill the movie experience."
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I hear
I like that.
Delirium Cordia,
Oh, Mimo.
74 minutes of one track,
See?
I think you can subscribe to that.
Well, you're basically a movie, a record, anything. It's a context, no? And there are different ways of, looking at it. Let's just say it's this table. I created that table. Do I want you to look at it, in pieces, or do I want you to see the whole thing? And so by making it a 70-minute experience, I'm forcing people to listen to the whole goddamn thing, whether they want to or not. So it's a statement. And basically what it does is it draws a line around the whole thing and says, you need to look at this big picture, not small. Yeah. Other records, yeah. I mean, I just did a soundtrack where it's based on prime numbers.
Yeah, the solitude of prime numbers.
See, but the IDs on the CD are all prime numbers, so it's a total pain in the ass to listen to. So you're gonna have to go like, 2 to it's crazy. It goes all the way to 53 tracks, but it's only 16 pieces. But they're all the first 16 prime numbers.
Yeah.
It's fun.
La beltà non s'accompagna alla saggezza. Il lupo assume le più strane forme di vita, ma mai, mai lui rivelerà i suoi intenti. Perché ricorda, più dolce la lingua, più aguzzi i denti.
Io devo andare.
To me, that's again an example of having an idea and seeing it all the way through to the end, and making it complete. And I had the idea like, wow, could that be possible? Of course, the people at mastering and whatnot are like, no, you can't do that. Yes, we can. You figure it out, So you have to go all the way.
Yeah. When you put out scores like a perfect place to that short film, Crank 2 High Voltage, I guess, is the solitude of prime numbers. Those are scores for movies that exist. But I think you have a movie director inside that is, I don't know, when one listens to General Patton versus Executioners, it's like a soundtrack to a movie that is waiting to happen, or is all the way happening right in front of your ears. Delirium Cordia is, it's like, they are very visual experience, that's what I mean.
That's good, that's good. I mean, they should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope that, when I see movies, I hear music. When you listen to music, you should hear movies, or see movies. So if anything that I do inspires that kind of thinking, it's great. I mean, I think I'm inspired just as much by movie directors or the authors as I am musicians. Yeah.
Tomahawk Fantomas, Mr. Bond Will Fade No More, countless collaboration, etc., etc. Some people see it as fragments, you know, of a big picture, but some see it as a big picture. Do you see your work as a whole of diving, of exploring, curiosity, pushing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, to me, these are all like important things, but, you know, I'm trying to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Where? I'm not sure. Figuring it out. Learning as I go. That's the way I learned music. On the job. That's the way I learned languages. You learn by doing.
Yeah.
And if you have the courage, or at least the stupidity to do it, then you can learn along the way. And you have to make mistakes in order to learn, no?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I think you have to really like make a fool of yourself sometimes in order to move ahead.
Scalina della Cile sino al mare. Cercamella, trovamella. Shut the fuck up! Scarpati e nanrumatella.
Some people say that places are like people and people are like places. Places have something that connects with you. I know Chile maybe stands apart from the rest of other countries, you know, perceiving
It's different, for
gratefully
sure.
from your music.
Yep.
How can you, I don't know how to say it, but how can you describe it, how, along all these years, how it's been the process? I think maybe you stand one day and look back and say, maybe this place is...
No, I do that often, actually. Your Metal Gate thing
The
actually helped me
documentary.
understand it more. No, it did.
Yeah.
Like politically and socially, like the maybe why. Because basically the only question that any of us had, like in Faith No More, was like, why does Chile? Why are they so nice to us? We never understood exactly why. And I think your thing helped me understand a little bit more, like, okay. Maybe just some weird set of circumstances, maybe some strange timing that, I don't know, helped that connection like solidify. And yeah, I mean, it's I think it's one of those things that you really can't explain. You just got to leave it alone. So I try not to think too much about it, but I always wonder, like, what the hell? You know, I mean, like I said, even on a lower level, like Mondo Cane, ayer, like, man, people like singing lyrics and he died. Never happened. I mean, the band was just like, everybody was very, very surprised. We're not used to that, you know. So there's some connection with this country. Can I tell you how that connection came about? No. Can I tell you if the connection will continue? No. I really don't know. It's just some weird magic that it's nice to be a part of. I feel lucky.
l'uomo triarcio, no.
Why did you choose, or how was it to interpret Que he sacado con quererte of Violeta?
Amazing. I think I screwed up the lyrics, but...
As we screw up the lyrics from Mondo.
Ya. No, it was fantastic. Thanks to mi hijo allá. It's fantastic. We'll see, but we may do a version of it tonight. We'll see. But no, it's fantastic. I mean, to connect with like a figure like that, you know, in a certain country is I think really important. Like when we were in Argentina, we did piazzolla, like just a tiny piece of a little piazzolla tune, and so much fun, so much fun. So I hope that, you know, tonight we can do something like that.
Que he sacado con la luna, ay, ay, ay. Que lo dormiramos juntos, ay, ay, ay. Cambia todo en este mundo, ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
And what are your, this organization of, crime organization, I call it, between Alberto and yourself? It's like the usual suspects. From 91 to, it seems that always something is lurking or preparing itself with you two guys.
I don't know. I mean, I met him in well, it wasn't quite like this. Mucuria, no? Was it Mucuria?
Yeah,
he was writing for a newspaper. And, you know, I was just like, it was probably one of like 10 interviews I was doing in one day. And I don't know. I thought, you could tell by the questions he was asking, he was very different. And I mean that in a good way. And no, been friends ever since. And I'm never friends with journalists. That's not, you know, those are people that you don't want in your life.
Yeah, that rules me
as
out
an artist.
immediately.
You are also an exception. No, it's true though. You understand? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like, you know,
Yeah, I know.
tough guy or anything.
I know.
I'm just saying, like, the reason is you need to keep. Normally, the more you talk about your music, the more harm it does.
Yeah.
I think the less you say, usually, the better. So it takes a special connection to be able to even sit down and do this for me.
Yeah.
It's not. I'd rather just like say, hey, listen to the fucking record, you know, and shut the fuck up. That's kind of my standard attitude. And yeah, it's a little harsh, but the older I get, the less I want to say.
Yeah.
You know?
No, birds crashing into a surveillance camera security. Mona Lisa porting a bazooka. You know, maybe you know who I'm talking about.
I think
it's a Bansky
maybe.
moment, right?
Yeah.
It's a Bansky moment. I have my own Bansky moment, so I think this country has its own Bansky moment. When you, maybe you know what I'm talking about, but what the hell?
El Viña.
Faith no more. Congratulations.
Yeah. Or when you say,
I know that was like a.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like a graffiti moment
Sí.
out of, you know, that brings me back to that Bansky aesthetic. I don't know how to call it. It was involuntary, I know, but through time it stands like.
But you only know those things like 15, 20 years later. Otherwise, in the moment, no. You know, I mean, we could be having one now, but we're not going to know until later. So, you know, I'm not sure what to say about that. You know?
That's a great answer.
Yeah. It's, I think that important moments are not important at the time they happen. They're only important in hindsight. When you're looking in the rearview mirror and you go, oh, that was really important. When they're happening, you never know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Bueno, muchas gracias por estar esta noche aquí con todo el grupo.
Gracias a ti, Don Corleone. Y a todos vosotros.
Muy bien, muchas gracias. Un aplauso.
Mike, what has to have a movie to stuck with you, to like a movie?
Oh.
I mean, I go to sort of clear the field. I go from Matilda, with a movie I love, to The Sandlot, another movie I love, to maybe Kenneth Anger or I don't know what.
Yeah. I don't know what the magic thing is, you know? It's the same thing with, this is like the mystery of the arts. It's alchemy. You don't know. You throw a bunch of things and, you know, if they explode, great. Sometimes they don't. I mean, I know what movies I like, but I don't think there's a formula for greatness. Or things that last, you know. Sometimes it just happens. And sometimes, I mean, look, let's just talk about like Scorsese. You would think that everything he would do would be incredible, right? Is that the case? No. I mean, I thought that he was done. I really thought that he was like over until Departed, which I thought was like, wow, okay, this guy still has it. But maybe he was just taking a detour. I don't know. Everyone has their own.
You know, as you said,
path.
making mistakes to improve yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought Departed was the best thing he's done since Goodfellas, to be honest. And like a lot of people like Casino, I don't like it at all. To me, it's like outtakes of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Right?
Even if it has
It
Joe
is.
Pesci again.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 3 hours of fucking outtakes. I don't know. I mean, I love the guy, but ugh. And then he did some bullshit with DiCaprio.
Yeah, the Shutter
Island,
Island.
Shutter Island. Ugh. The only thing that was good about that is he used cool music.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was like
cool.
George Crumb and
Yeah.
like really like kind of interesting classical music.
No, I saw a movie from Woody Allen called Midnight in Paris.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Is it good?
It's about a guy, a writer, who thought he born in the wrong times.
Yeah, and it's like
Very
isn't there like,
materialistic, capitalistic.
yeah.
So it has a fairy tale sort of aura, and whenever the clock is midnight, he gets to visit his heroes. I mean, he meets Hemingway, he meets Picasso, Dali, etc., etc., etc.
God, I would hate to be an actor in one of those movies. No? You gotta be Dali.
Would you have loved to work with, I know, maybe for you it's Ima Sumac, Les Baxter. What are the musicians or artists that, you know,
Heroes, you mean?
are your
yeah,
guiding
yeah.
stars?
I mean, there's many, but I don't really, I don't know. I don't sit around and dream like that. You know what I mean? I'm much more realistic. If I were to like just dream on the spot, I always say Burt Bacharach. That could be amazing. Ennio, of course. I mean, I still think of Zorn in that way, even though we're like totally like brothers now. Yeah, I mean, there's so many people, but to kind of sit around, I think it's important to like remember, like, to sit around and kind of make a laundry list of, you know, of heroes. I'd rather just kind of like keep doing what I do, and if somehow, you know, my path crosses with theirs, then great. João Gilberto, that's another one. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah.
That list is in there, but it's just not something that I have like in my pocket. You know what I mean?
You know, when I was interviewing Morricone, I told him Cinema Paradiso. Cinema Paradiso. And Luigi Tenco, you know, my heart was racing. He said, Luigi Tenco. And he directed me, Tenco. So it was, you know.
Que figone. Que figone, that means like, what a cool guy.
Yeah.
But how was it?
Was it, you know...
I mean, I know you were shitting your pants and everything, but...
Yeah, I went with 2 diapers by myself. I was totally equipped there. You know, even my glass of water, I told you, was gasping for water. You know, it seems to... When he walks in the room,
but why?
The glass of water seems like the Jurassic Park, you know, when the water goes... Yeah.
But, I mean, what you showed me, he seemed very amable.
It has this dichotomy, I guess. He's really easygoing, but he's...
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he's the surgery along the way.
So how did you pull that off? You know, can I ask you a question now?
Yeah.
How did you pull that off? Like, how did you...
My main dream is that you two collaborate in the near future. Yeah, you know.
There's, you know, I could also fly to the moon, right? With a balloon. No, I would love to meet the guy one day. That's kind of like my only wish. To work with him would be incredible. Are you kidding me? I mean, when he did that record with Dulce Pontes, Portuguese singer. Do you know this record?
Yeah.
It's like kind of a pop record.
Yeah.
Portuguese singer. I was like so fucking jealous. I was like, God damn it. She's pretty popular. I mean, she's pretty...
He did also an album called A Fistful of Samba or something like that.
Oh,
yeah. It's...
that's not really...
Yeah. That's learning from your mistakes, man.
Yeah, of course.
Even with Morricone, we can...
Everybody. I mean, you know, I think that anybody that's going to do more than a couple records in their lives or write a couple books in their lives are going to have a couple, you know, missteps.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But sometimes if you go down the stairs a couple of steps, you go, okay. Turn this direction. I found a new door.
Yeah.
Boom.
Time is on your side or against you?
Against you always.
Yeah.
I never, ever, even today, you know, I always feel like if I had 15 more minutes. Of course, I was late today, so that's obvious why I feel that way. But no, I always feel like it's a race. I mean, you have to be somewhat chill and kind of confident in your own abilities, but there's never enough time, right? I mean, that's how we live these days.
Yeah. How would you introduce something like that?
Wow. I would say that it's nobody else in the world would have done it. The idea is completely crazy. And when you first told me you were going to do it, I said, yeah, okay, right. But I thought in my mind, this guy's out of his mind. It's never going to happen. No way. Impossible. So the fact that you actually did it, this is what I'm saying about like ideas and then executing those ideas. It's like anyone can have a great idea. But it takes balls and courage and nerve to like really go all the way and do it. And you did it. So whether it's good or bad, you know, is kind of up to whoever's watching it. But the fact that you did it is like, to me, like, it's really special. That's why I'm here, by the way.
Right.
The fact that you did that, I felt like, man, I got to sit down with this guy. Because you give a shit, you care.
Of course.
And that's, I know it doesn't sound like much maybe to whoever's watching, but it's rare. And it means a lot. Like, you took the time to sit down and do that all the way, from the start to the finish. And you did it. And it's incredible. It's really, really great. I mean, I was like crying watching the goddamn thing. Seriously, man.
You will hear a line and statement from Anvil lips, which may you
Ricky
cry.
Martin.
Ricky Martin.
I
Who is
love
this?
it.
Ricky Martin.
So fucking great.
So great.
So, Mike, I have...
But in context, that's perfect. Like, that's exactly what he should have said.
You know, this is, of course, a work in progress. We have the final cut here to give it to you.
Cool.
It has abuelitas, you know, listening to...
Abuelitas, bueno.
Abuelitas. It's great because it has abuelitas listening, terrifying to Moonchild. You know, we see 20 elders in a session, listen
Crudele questo. Crudele.
And then Mondo, and they were like,
Finalmente.
this is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
So it's great to have you here.
Excellent, man. Thank you, my friend, hermano. Muchísimo.
Muchísimas gracias a ti. ¿Qué te pareció? ¿Fue tan malo?
Sí.
It was bad enough?
No, it was great.
Y para mí, Mike Patton siempre está buscando otra manera, o sea, exigiendo todo de todos sus amigos, sus músicos, y es el avant-garde, pero avant-garde que comunica universalmente también. Es casi análogo como Frank Zappa para mí. Won't you get this feeling all alone with everything that's wrong? The gods display their scorn. Ahora también y con su cosa italiana cuando cane. Bueno, él siempre, y lo chistoso es que nunca lo he conocido todos esos años. Lo he visto en vivo y todo eso. Lo que me gusta y lo que tengo mucho respeto es cuando sigue empujando y luchando por todo. No tiene que ser perfecto, pero él no se levanta sin una idea de qué voy a hacer hoy para agrandar la historia. Pero no lo hace nada más por hacerlo, lo hace porque si no va a dormir bien en la noche. ¿Qué hice hoy? Entonces, es uno de los grandes.
I have no idea. Is it Ricky Martin?
Is it Mike Patton?
Who is it? Mike Patton. I never heard of him.
Al mandolino.
What is it?
Oye, me imaginé absolutamente cine, claro, italiano, casi, incluso mudo podría ser.
It sounds like the music my parents would like.
Suena una armónica, pero me parece un órgano.
Grotesco, horrible, desequilibrado. Rock pesado.
Me da asco.
Ese loco que estuvo acá, el Patton.
Aquí hay una mezcla de dos cosas. Es de una tradición luciferiana, o sea, de culto que hay al demonio, en que se remeda un poco lo que es el culto católico a Jesucristo, porque se plantea lo de la sangre y todo, pero sin embargo no es el canto gregoriano, es un gregoriano deformado. Y la otra parte, que sería la parte más ruidosa, de estos grupos nuevos satánicos que hay. Es suficiente.
Los señores que interpretaban ahí gritaban, hacían cualquier cosa, pero menos cantar o interpretar, porque tampoco hay letra.
Eso que no se entiende, eso me complicó.
Lo primero que escuché fue a Disperper.
No me gusta el rock pesado porque me da asco. Me da náusea. Esos tipos son como endemoniados. Yo soy romántica, eterna romántica.
De Metallica me voy a Luis Miguel. Ese es mi lado oscuro.
Creo que nosotros somos públicos empezando para esas bandas.
Me gusta mucho el rock. Y a mi hijo, tendría unos 13 años, Julito, le dije yo, fíjate que escuché un conjunto, le digo, ya. Y ahí nos pusimos fanáticos. Él también, ¿no? ¿Cuánto se llama? Fat More, no sé yo, pero no lo sé. Qué fantástico, no me va a decir que no. Me hace revivir.
Yo no sé inglés, por lo tanto no entendí ni jota y no me gustó. Nada de nada.
Lo que menos tiene es música.
Él es tirar escupos, de sacar la lengua.
Tenía actitudes muy groseras que realmente son inconcebibles de poderse presentar ante cualquier público.
No me gustaría estar de público ahí y que me llegue un escupo.
Y eso de tomar bebida, escupirlo, es como...
Qué asqueroso.
Creo que no es necesario.
Si a mí me tira un escupo, ¡ay! Tengo que tener algo de ellos.
Los gritos, me estresó. Afortunadamente no estamos ahí, tengo ganas de salir de la sala. Si hubiera estado ahí, yo salgo enferma, los nervios. Horroroso.
Mira eso. Francisco cuando se despide le da un beso en el anillo, le dice que era el padrino.
Gracias a ti, Don Corleone.
Mi vuoi lasciare e tu vuoi fuggire, ma solo al buio tu poi mi chiamerai.
Precioso, precioso, fabuloso.
Esto sí es realmente música.
Fantástico, fantástico.